Hello! First time ever giving commentary in a YouTube video. Makes it better that it's mine, makes it easier. But I think this house was worth the commentary. So let's just dive into it, and apologies. I have become obsessed with sunken floors, but it just looks so good. And when I came into this one, I had just done the spa. So I was on a hype of glass facade working. I just had to create a ceiling full of glass. This one is only base game and ranch. Come on, look, isn't it that gorgeous? Other than the floating lamps that I forgot to put something up there to a dress or something so they would make sense. I just wanted to make something old-fashioned and traditional with something very new, like can be the whole ceiling as a skylight. And when I recorded this video, it was early morning for my Sims and it was snowing, and the snow keeps on getting into the building, and I find that very cute. I love this porch. See the dresses for the lights, I forgot them. And I had Sims already living there and they had already smashed the toys house. I was like, okay, I'll just leave it. Should have fixed it. Recording these cinematics take a while. This has a lot of cutting and transitions and editing behind. My Sim is sleeping there. The pictures are not great because this side is facing away from the light. So it's going to have a main house. I think I'm going to make here, rather than the very end. It's going to be looking in this direction. Now that is east, that is south. So I want the porch to be looking south, which means that the house has to be facing north. So this is going to be the house. Yes, I am that type of crazy. Then I'm going to have stables. Yep. Maybe a tiny home here. Didn't do that. And a house apartment on top of the stables. That I did too. But that will be the next video. Now the bad thing about this is that I have the idea, but I don't have the plans. I usually design builds before I go into them. I didn't for this one. So it may end up awful. It may end up good. Sometimes just go with it. Yeah, I usually don't upload the ones that end up looking awful. I have a think about them and rebuild them. In this case, what I was talking about with the south and north and all of that is that I wanted the back porch to be looking towards the fields, towards the sun during the day. So it would make sense to use it during the day. And here I was just going around trying to measure, trying to decide what the rooms were going to be. I knew that I wanted a room downstairs with an ensuite for guests. And I wanted odd shapes. I have become somewhat obsessed with glass ceilings, glass facades, sunken floors. But a bit as well with the odd shapes. The next building that I did, I think after this one, was an industrial building that I have yet to playtest. Oh, here we go into the roofs. This took forever. I'm going to like sit or just pass over this side. You don't need to see it. It's because I was trying. So the original idea was that I would have all the glass ceiling going all the way up, and I will have a half wall over there to look over to the sunken floor and the chimney and all of that. All that wall was going to be a half wall. That one was going to be a half wall. And it didn't let me. It absolutely didn't let me. So I spent a lot of time trying to make it happen, but because that wall comes with the ceiling, the sides and the back are part of the ceiling, you cannot transform it, you cannot turn it, not without using cheats. I think if you use cheats, you can. But I never build with cheats or with mods, because I remember downloading things from the gallery and not being able to make them work because I didn't have cheats on while playing. So it always makes me slightly mad to download something pretty that I can't play in. So I decided to build things that are pretty, but they work. You can play on them. And you could play on them just... I mean, the lamps are floating, but other than that, your Sims ignore that. Ignore it as well. This pack only used ranch and base game. Oof, you see, ceiling up, ceiling down, ceiling up, ceiling down. I spent so much time trying to make the ceilings fit in this game. It's just ridiculous. I wanted to mix traditional and new, make it kind of like an alpine retreat, but in a ranch somehow. Now it's starting to look more like the layout that it ended up being. I wanted the chimney to be stone and everything else wood. I started checking things and checking the different options that came with the ranch. And I wasn't quite convinced. I started making changes. I wanted it to look like you have had many additions done over time. And so some things are older than others and they don't exactly match, but I didn't want it to be that obvious. That's the reason that I'm adding the half wall or the... That I like that they have the second opening. That makes it very cute. So that is just to break a tiny bit the lines. The columns are just to break the lines a tiny bit. That corner drove me nuts. Kept going back and forth trying to fix it. And then the oldest part would be stone. The newest part is like that. I think most of the house, everything in the house, it's part of the ranch pack. I like the ranch pack. It has enough information and enough things to make interesting builds. You can do very modern things with them, even if it's more of a traditional looking style. We don't usually build with wood in Spain. We have brick and clay as more traditional things, or full-on stone. So it's always funny to try to discover what would fit, and I think these for me look very much like the schools in the old westerns. And here became at the end, because I couldn't turn that wall into a half wall, what I decided to do is just put a ton of windows all the way through. And I was trying on different windows, seeing what it would work, so you that feeling that I wanted, that you can look down onto the beautiful area. You still have it there, and it looks now even more like an addition, like that roof came on later. I think I hadn't discovered about it 5 years yet when I did this build. Well, I have Sims living there now, and everything works, including the furniture and the chimney. You can turn it on, and I really, really like this build. The thing is, my Sim died, and now the teenager is living there, and that's too big. So they're probably going to be moving to the industrial apartment, so I can record the videos for the industrial apartment as well. Also, she's loaded. Like, Dad was loaded and he died, so... See, I forgot the dresses over there. Some of those lamps don't provide any light, like those. those that I'm using, that I will use for the back porch, they don't provide any light. So I left them outdoors, as in they don't disturb. But probably wouldn't use them indoors. They were too dark. And here I just went around trying colors, basically. Ah, here. My sunken floor. I wanted the steps so you can actually go up to the chimney and turn it on, because I wanted it to be very deep. I wanted the top of the couch to be a trip hazard, basically. And a stone for the fire. Don't think that it really matters for The Sims, but that is always a good idea in real life. I really like this pack. It has enough things that there are some packs that don't have enough building or decoration. Like the university one has two colors, two for new walls, and it's like, okay, I always have to use something else or base game when I'm designing with the university pack. Nothing wrong with it, just it's never quite exactly what I want, because I either limit the packs so people with few of them can download it, or I use absolutely everything and I'm just going for a decoration style, but I don't really like to do that one. Oh, I like that idea, and then I didn't notice, but it didn't make sense with the glass window, with the glass ceiling, to just have decorative columns, basically. Which, yeah, if I had remembered about the tress for the... it would have made more sense for the lamps, but no, I didn't. And that I like the half walls. Sorry, the half walls, like tiling half and then the rest not tiled. But it's not a very good idea in real life, especially if it's a very wet room, as in you are having baths there. And we are finally into decoration. This kitchen I wanted to do 2 areas, eating area and cooking area, but it couldn't make it work. Because the tops, they didn't match. So in the end I tried many things and I couldn't make them match, kind of continue around the corner because of the countertop grain. So I had to scrap it and go to another one. And the colors didn't match, even though they were the same set. The up and down didn't match. So in the end I went slightly different approach to this and just let them kind of in a different color. And went full on grandma with the dish displays. I don't know why all of them did that. My mom has a whole glassware in a display that I don't think we've ever been allowed to use. See, still trying to get an 18 area. And if I went on finding things that I liked, I just dropped them into another room. Like, I will use that caravan with a gnome later. I did. It's at the front of the house, but yeah. I like this song. I keep on liking this song. I keep on using it. Chillhop. They do have pretty things. Someone called Jasper. Most of the things that I use are from him. Or her, I don't know. From them, let's say then. I like that rug as well. I would have that rug. But rugs are expensive. So expensive, as well as mirrors. Have you checked? They are expensive. That hurts when you become an adult and you discover that everything pretty is so expensive. Yeah, well, I live vicariously through my Sims. They live in gorgeous places that I couldn't afford. Definitely couldn't afford. I wanted a massive seating area. But it ended up in cow print because it made sense. I would never have that. But it just made sense in the combination. And the studio, originally I think I wanted just to make a room where you would drop things and forget about them. My sim is all day, every day there. She has a gorgeous area, she has the sitting, the fireplace. Nope, she's always in that room. Oh well. Can't be mad at her. She's had it tough. I don't think anyone has bathed in a downstairs bath. Originally, I wanted to have many babies in this house. That's the reason that I kind of put... So they wouldn't have to walk all the way around the house, you know, to bathe the baby. I wanted to do some... Maybe not the 100 babies challenge, but maybe have 3 toddlers. And then I remember... It just stresses me so much. One of my sims right now has a toddler and it's pregnant, and I'm considering not playing with that family until they are kids. I found it so stressful, and I play the Sims to de-stress from normal life. Oh well. I kept on putting that mirror everywhere because it's the one that came with the pack. I like the idea of not hanging mirrors on the walls, making it a bit more traditional. And the cow plant skull just needed to be there. That one was huge. I had to make them smaller and put 2. I've done that in other builds as well because I like the idea of having a trunk or someplace to sit at the bottom of the... But doesn't usually work in the Sims, like they snap to odd locations. This was, you see, that wasn't flat. I just have a destructive kid in that household. And those I thought the kind of like the open shelving storage unit, I thought they were going to be actual wardrobes, but they are just decorative. Now this is the dad's bedroom with a walk-in closet. Bit of an odd walk-in closet. And the mirror in the wardrobe is functional, actually, in that pack. I didn't notice until recently. And I really, really liked it. Because it kind of combines both things together and makes a lot of sense. You see, I keep on trying to make that happen, and it just, without cheats, it doesn't really work. But then again, I don't cheat. That's the reason why my shelves are always half empty. Sims, Maxis, yeah, people, we need things that sit on shelves. You can actually put them on shelves. You don't have to cheat your way into them being on shelves. Please, please. That was the main bathroom upstairs. No ensuite, because I wanted the big window in the main bedroom, that one, and it didn't feel like it would be correct to make it a bathroom. And there we go. Now we're almost done. For this one, I use a different pack now that I remember, the desert something pack, because it just looks beautiful, and I wanted to add that tiny bit of modern to a very traditional look otherwise. Now the idea for this was that you can have a stable that comes with the rental, because my sim was broke at the time and they wanted a horse. And so they live actually at the top of the stable in another apartment, but that is next week's video. I wanted to reuse as much of the original terrain as possible. kind of to merge into that central area, into that idea, and reuse as much of it as possible. So it decided where some things were going based just on that. Well, I think that's it. That was branch 1 of 3. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want. Absolutely, if you want. And see you in the next one. Bye bye.